How friends, welcome to the channel. Bob here, and just a bit of news, a bit of World of Warcraft Classic news. They have added a new PvP server, just very recently, last couple of days. I think that there was some talk about overpopulation and stuff, and queues logging in and whatnot. And developers seem to, which I think is fair enough. They don't want. I think they're probably going for the tactic of, we've got more realms to go if we need them, but we don't want people to be spread around too much, you know, so that some. I think they're thinking about when the nostalgia or the popularity falls away, you know, and some people just stop playing. I don't want servers to then be low population. So so it seems as though they've got servers ready to go if they're needed. But Firemore is a new PvP server that they've just put up, basically. So yeah, and it's currently medium. I'm not sure how many people have moved from Golemag or Shazra, but I think I'm just going to pop a character on there to see. Yeah, because it kind of makes sense. Let's get in there. So hopefully, yeah, I can. You always think to yourself, well, I'm going to be able to get in. Biome, yeah. Yeah, so it might make sense just to pop a character on there, because I think that I won't be starting the game when the servers go live, because it's too late for me. So I'll be starting on the morning of the 27th, I guess. That's when I'll first be logging in. Might kind of be streaming straight away. I'll have to see how it goes. I mean, as you know, I'm kind of one of those people that I kind of want to do a lot more Twitch, but you know, my focus has still always been primarily on YouTube. So, but I do want to have a recording video of kind of starting off some quests and that kind of thing. Some of the main quests, what I'm going to be doing with regards to professions, that kind of thing. I've kind of got an eye. I mean, I feel fairly stuck on the Warlock, actually. But I'm kind of going to work out how to do things with regards to kind of being self-sufficient. So what I was kind of considering doing was maybe getting an alt to level 5, and I think level 5 is where you can choose professions. And so having an alt that can maybe make robes and stuff, you know, like cloth armor, and then my main will kind of be someone who can make wands, basically. So I've got, I mean, there are some wands that drop from quests and stuff, and from bosses in some of the dungeons and whatnot. So we'll kind of look at that, I guess, when the game releases, to see what. But wands is quite important for a warlock. It's a lot of free. You put your dots on, and then it's just a lot of free DPS essentially. So I kind of want to try and keep my wands up to date if I can, and maybe have an alt just at level 5 who's just my tailoring alt, basically. We'll have to see how that plan turns out. Who knows? On day one, maybe I've started a completely different class. You know, who knows? But I've been watching a lot of content on YouTube about it. A lot of people really up for it. Yeah, it's interesting, really. I've been watching a lot of videos from people who are kind of claim to be classic WoW or vanilla WoW experts, but they're clearly not old enough to have really played vanilla WoW seriously when it came out. So I do find it quite strange. I guess they kind of got into WoW Live, and then they moved on to the private servers. You know, the servers that were, yeah, just vanilla servers that came out that were private and got shut down and opened, etc. So, yeah, I mean, I'm not doubting their information. Well, maybe I am not doubting their information, you know, or their abilities to play classic WoW. I think that there's only, if you've played on a vanilla private vanilla server, there's probably only so many differences there's going to be between the two. But it's quite funny watching them. You know, the really young people who probably wouldn't have played classic. So maybe, but I guess they're kind of as excited as anyone else, because if it's going to be as close to classic as possible, then, you know, I think that maybe it will be a new experience for them as well, which will be quite good. But yeah. But I'm looking at. I've been looking at. It's funny because I kind of like generally as I said in the video before, I'm a min-maxer when I play games, although it may not come across particularly well in videos. And I've kind of been looking at kind of leveling routes and the fastest way to 60, etc., and what to do along the way and that kind of thing. And I'm quite attracted by those, but I do want the journey to be enjoyable as well. So yeah, I think I'll generally just be following the main quest lines, which makes the most sense. Yeah, and we'll see how we go. But I'm kind of looking at it a bit more of a min-max with regards to being able to create armor for myself and wands and stuff as we go along. Because I mean, one of the things is, I mentioned in the video before, but if any of you are playing on a server, let me know, and maybe we can group up or guild or whatever. I don't really know what's going on, but someone who is probably going to be playing on their own a fair bit. I'm kind of looking at just trying to be as self-sufficient as I can, and I think that I'm quite looking forward to getting to that first character to 60, and then kind of do those things at 60 that you do to progress your character. Believe it or not, I am going to be going and sitting outside dungeons looking for group. I don't think there's any like looking for group finder in vanilla. I don't think there was. I'm not sure. But I'll be doing all those kind of things. I'll be doing guides and stuff on dungeons, what I'm doing, items that I'm trying to attain, and all that kind of thing. So yeah, it should be quite interesting. But I'm kind of looking for a balance between min-maxing in the sense that I'm kind of playing efficiently and playing as best as I can, but also kind of enjoying the ride as I go along. I quite like the idea. I'll tell you what I've never, and this won't surprise you. What I've never had in an MMO is, have I ever had it before? No, Ultima Online I did, but Ultima Online was a bit of a different game because it wasn't levels as such. But I've never been in a situation on an MMO where I've had a character ready to go for that level cap and kind of as geared as I can get it, ready to go for when an expansion's added. I've never had that before. When QNOT came out, I was still faffing around in the 30s or 40s level wise. So that's kind of what I'm quite looking forward to that. I'm quite looking forward to playing through, enjoying the game, and then being ready for when the next, maybe even with a couple of characters, looking forward to the next release, the release for the next patch or expansion or whatever it may be. Same with Project Green 99 as well. That will be a good thing. I kind of thinking back a fair bit to my early World of Warcraft days. Again, I can't remember I think it was probably similar to some of the other MMO releases, where I think I probably started with my guild on an American server, I would guess, because I kind of think that maybe they were the only servers available. Then maybe moved to European one afterwards. But I do remember certain things. I mean, I played a Dwarf Hunter on live mostly. Quite a lot of Druid as well. But Dwarf Hunter Dwarf Hunter and Druid I played a lot of. And I kind of mucked around with a Warlock and a Mage on the Gnome side of things. Yeah, but Dwarf Hunter was one of the... I quite like the idea of taming the pets and stuff and getting all the different pets. And there were... I think there were rare pets as well. You could tame like named mobs that looked different and that kind of thing. Just talking about it's kind of appealing. finding it quite appealing again. So, I need to make sure I don't get caught up in the lots of different characters thing. I think that, I mean, I think the bet, I mean, as you know, I'm terrible for creating lots of different alts and stuff, and then not really getting anywhere on any of them particularly. And I think you kind of have to have more of a long-term view. It's like, if you want to play an undead warlock and you want to play a dwarf hunter, do one first. That's the thing. Rather than mucking around with two or three different characters, just do one first, because the other one's always going to be there. You can just come back to it, or you can just start it. When your main is kind of where you want it to be, essentially, you know, probably apart from some best in slot stuff that you might want that's difficult to get, or maybe just use, you know, maybe use the alt as a little break just from your main and whatnot. But that's kind of what I'm trying to tell myself for the WoW Classic release, is that these characters will always be there. You don't need to get 3. You don't need to try and get 3 to level 60 from the off. Just concentrate on the one first. That's what I'm looking at. Yeah. So I'm interested to see what you guys think about the PvP side of things. You know, what you'll be doing, what server you'll be playing on. I think WoW. I mean, honestly, a lot of it's hazy for me, so I don't remember too much. But I feel that WoW was kind of different in the PvP aspect. I think it was another thing that they, whether you call it dumbed down or made it more convenient. But I don't think dying was particularly harsh. I don't think you lost anything for dying, did you? From what I can remember. Yeah. So I'd be interested to know if any of you guys are playing on a PvP server. From what I can remember, I remember on my Hunter particularly that a lot of PvP didn't really start until you kind of got into I think it was Strangleform Vale was the first, around level 30ish, where that was the first zone where you were kind of questing in the same zone as the opposing side. So that was where a lot of PvP took place. And weirdly, I didn't get involved in too much PvP. It would a lot of it would be, I'm standing there looking at someone, they're standing there looking at me. We're probably both thinking, I just want to go about my quest, you know. But you're still thinking, is this person going to attack me or not? Blah, blah, blah. With regards to ganking and griefing and stuff, I don't know, you know. I mean, I was watching someone's footage on a private server, I think it was, and you know, there was a kind of a big group battle, and it was reasonably fair. This guy eventually died, and I think his team died. The Alliance side, I think, and you kind of had the, you know, the group they were fighting waiting at the graveyard for them to spawn. So I guess you're going to get that. I think the thing to remember is that this is something that I do. If you think about gamers' personalities, if you've got someone who's just wants to gank you, I would probably say that person is fairly low tolerance for waiting around. I just kind of feel that they're sort of people who just want to be moving on, or they want to keep killing, you know, so that their number goes up or whatever it is. And what this guy did, he just basically didn't respawn. So he sat there, and he was only there for about 5 minutes before this group, you know, ran off essentially because they got bored. So maybe you just got to, if you're worried about a PvP server, maybe you just got to, you know, think about things a bit more with regards to, like just kind of try and game it a bit, I guess. You know, maybe kind of think to ourselves that, I mean, I'm quite enjoying getting involved in some PvP fights, but not so much getting spawn ganked, you know. But I guess that's a game in itself. You know, you just got to get up, go make a coffee, come back again, you know, and see if you can click the respawn button. We'll have to see. Yeah, but I'm interested to see what you guys think about it, and if you'll be going for a PvP server or not. Anyway, I think that's it. This has gone on for long enough, this video. I'll speak to you again soon.